All right. So, first of all, for anyone who's listening, you understand what took place in Baltimore this past week, a catastrophic event, an accident of epic proportions, taking down the Key Bridge, a freight carrier smashing into a supporting wall, and damn near three-quarters of the bridge collapses into the Patapsco River, which is a major throughway for all, vessels and trade and commerce. Our respects, condolences, thoughts, prayers with anyone who passed away in that, anyone who's going to be affected or is affected. I want to first say that. All right, I want to get that crystal clear, straight out the box. But what I want to say is, it took 12 hours for the fucking conspiracy nutters
you're
start.
being generous.
Yeah, it took like 30 minutes, buddy.
Yeah, I don't even think it was that long. I think as soon as the first footage from a nearby camera that was pointed in that direction, somebody was already piecing together their fucking grand conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. You can't tell me. You can't tell me. Well, if we can't tell you, then why are you making a video about it? You want to click fuckers? God damn. Felt like a bunch of matchsticks. You see these up there? Those are demolition flares at the top. Electrical? Steel smashes into concrete and creates sparks? Not for me. No way. It's a Ukraine. It's a Russia. It's a Ukraine and Russia. They're starting a civil war. It's someone was drunk.
Dude, I will admit, and the quickness of them before any actual investigation takes place, they can be very convincing, especially with anybody that's seen the footage of this, the way it kind of twists and turns and meanders at the very, very end, right before it hits. I'm like, fuck. All I could think is either this was the thing, or they're going to really do a great job of almost convincing me that is a thing. Because there's so much hoopla in the world that I could see this being a thing. But I was like, I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to wait a minute. I ain't going to buy into goddamn anything I see on TikTok right now. Not going to do it. But man, I'll tell you, they had me for a second.
God, and everyone is instantly an expert in, structural engineering of major bridges. They know how to man and pilot or captain a freighter ship. They understand what to do in 30 seconds leading up in the event of electrical failure. They know where they know port and starboard and where the anchor should be dropped. They said, look at I see the smoke. You see the smoke bellowing? Where's the horn? Why didn't the guy push the horn? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's basically how that all breaks down.
Somebody that I went to high school with actually works on one of these ships, works for America, but he does take these ships over open seas and all that. And his post was, whoever needs to hear this, you don't know a damn thing about how ships work. Stop pretending you do. Thank you. And he's right. And he even said they've lost power, thankfully, in open seas. No big deal. Yeah. You got time to work on it as long as there's no heavy waves. And they don't apparently steer without power, these particular ships, because they are so large. He's like, just remember this, that in order for hydraulic turning systems to work, they need electricity. They don't operate otherwise. So yeah, this is it's a disaster. I sent you guys a video from a guy on TikTok talking about these ships. He's like, these ships from other countries work on the bare bones. If they operate, they send them out. They don't have to be safe. They just have to float. That's it. That's the only requirement.
Yeah, I mean, that's not surprising. It's the world we live in, man. The almighty dollar, brother. Whatever it takes. We fucking I read the cargo. So most of the cargo on the ship was contracted by Maersk. So the ship was operated by a totally different company, and Maersk was like, "Hey, take our shit. Here's our shit. Take it over there." And the statement from Maersk very much read like a company not based in the United States. They really did not give a fuck. They were just like, "Hey, It looks like port's gonna be closed. So yeah, we're not gonna send anything to that port for the foreseeable future because that's business. And if you got a problem with the stuff that's on the boat that's stuck there, call your local mayor scrap. We'll get you squared away. Bye. Like they did not give a fuck at all. So it's not surprising. This is not surprising whatsoever.
Yeah, apparently these ships, they're only allowed to stop at 2 ports while they're in the States,
Mhm.
and then they got to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, where's the tugboat escorts? Where were they at? Why weren't they in tow? Huh?
And I asked the same thing, honestly, but I've learned
Sure.
some things. Go ahead.
Sure, but now we've given it a breath and we've heard some information. Gotta say this about the crew, as much of shitbags as everybody wants to think they are, and I'm sure some hate and anger obviously is going to be propelled their way no matter what. They did put in a Mayday call, and that Mayday call pretty much saved all the lives except for that construction crew that was up there fixing potholes. I mean, it's sad, but 6 lives in a catastrophe like this,
Yeah.
that's pretty fucking amazing. Terrorists generally don't send out Mayday calls when they decide they're going to explode a bridge with a fucking 500-ton boat. They generally don't do that.
Yeah, it's just
But if you wanted to steer away from it being a terrorist attack, maybe you call in a Mayday right before you ram the bridge.
Well,
Right.
yeah, but at 1:30 in the fucking morning, like
Yeah, that was my other thing too. I was like, if and then, why not do it during rush hour traffic if that's your fucking giant plot?
Yeah.
So yeah, and like Wes, you said the explosion at the top of the girder. What's hilarious to me is like the bridge is illuminated. There's electricity up there. I don't know if you know what it looks like when an electrical line filled with thousands of volts of electricity just happens to snap up against metal. Might be a pop or two. Just saying.
Right. And it's why would they send out a Mayday call? That's interesting. These people say it with such conviction too. I had someone on that I was debating with on my personal account because, of course, I couldn't help myself. I had to throw my name into the ringer, just basically saying, "You conspiracy loons need a new hobby." This one had the audacity to call herself a citizen journalist. And I was like, "Yes, you are a citizen, but to call yourself a journalist is an insult to journalism." And then it was just like, "I'm just asking questions." Well, these questions have answers that you don't like the fucking answers to. Dumbass.
I do think that's a part of the problem, and everything's a conspiracy now because we don't have people beyond citizen journalists anymore. The journalists seem to be making up just as many stories as your citizen journalists. They just happen to have badges that are stamped by, with credentials. And it's sad because any network or cable news that you see is just riddled with conspiracy too. So who's to believe what? And so we do have to kind of make up our own stories. Unfortunately, the people that get really interested in this shit are not qualified in any capacity and have no critical thinking skills. But they are fucking convincing, man. Watching before I knew anything that had happened, I saw that video of the girder with the fucking little flame pop at the top. I saw the ship twist and turn right towards the pillar at the last second. I'm like, damn, this really doesn't look good for the normal thinking citizen of America right now.
See, I think the critical thing is that there's a lot of the normal thinking American, and those people are dumb. Like we have just a lot of just stupid people that in the last decade have just been allowed to be stupid without anyone calling them out on it. And now we've landed in this place where nobody believes the news because critical thinking's fucking gone. Yes, they do fabricate shit. I'll give you that. But there are still some outlets I'm fairly certain we can trust with most of our news. It's just a cultural thing, I think, right now for us to be it's Chinese. It's fucking. I bet you it was a diversity, equity, and inclusion hire behind the wheel. It's Jesus fucking Christ, you racist. It's insanity. But hey, it's entertaining. I'll give you that.
Diddy is under the microscope. It's a diversion plot so people don't think about what's going on with him.
It's a diversion to from Diddy, who I heard about more than the fucking bridge yesterday.
Yeah.
Because my man's straight up on the run for diddling kids. Like,
Well, it's so far beyond that. I have barely been able to grasp really what's going on with Diddy. I get it. Like, so there was huge parties, and they were doing weird shit. Well, Donnell Rollins was on with Rogan, and again, they didn't really get into it, but he was just talking about one time Diddy said something to him or somebody he knew. It was like, if you can get another man to suck your dick and they're not gay, that's power. And so apparently a lot of that type of shit was going on. The Vince McMahon thing. Do you know what he went down for officially with this lady?
he got her a position. Like, it was professional. It was more professional. He didn't necessarily go down for like the pooping on her.
Oh, see, there you go. You glossed right over that. It was a threesome with this woman where Vince McMahon took a shit on her head and then was like, all right, you guys finish up. I'm going to go take a shower. She wanted $3 million to keep that hush-hush, and he's so fucking cheap he wouldn't pay it. So
That's
he
his
made the
finishing
first
move.
payment, and then the next payment, I think like something had came out, and he was like, you broke that NDA. And she was like, that's not how this works. A judge decides that. And yeah. But yo, so like, yes, he did poop on her eventually. But the way this started, was that like, I think she like lived in this building or something and had like a mutual friend and was like, she needs a job. And he was like, oh, I can make you a secretary and then eventually poop on you. And fucking, that's how it happened. You know,
Alan, you're way too comfortable with Vince McMahon popping a squat on some chick's head while some other guy's fucking railing her out from behind. That is you've glossed over it a couple of times now, and it just seems commonplace.
You asked about the root, and I thought you were getting to the fact that like there was a bit of like, fucking, corporate hanky panky prior to the hanky panky on the boardroom table.
It was a tag team finisher. It's the doggy style pooparoo. It's it's the tag
Just
team.
can you imagine?
Hold on, sorry, I heard the best one. The best finishing name for it was the Stone Cold Steamer.
That's good. But man, you gotta have. I don't know. He's a special kind of person to be like, all right, I'm gonna poop on you, and then like, you finish off my buddy. I'm gonna go take a shower because this shit's disgusting. But
I think if you're comfortable enough to poop on someone, I don't think you're giving them prior warning of it. I don't think you're asking permission. Like I think you're just like,
oh no,
this
he
is what
definitely
I'm
just
doing.
squeezed one out. Like
Yeah.
he definitely didn't ask.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if asked, I would poop on somebody. Just because, why not? It's an experience,
I guess.
If
How
asked
many times do
nicely,
you get
or-
the opportunity to be like, I pooped on?
I don't know. I don't have it in me. I'm sorry. You and I are different in this category. I'm not just.
No, dude, listen. You could barely order adult products. You could barely purchase. You could not purchase adult products in person like a fucking grown up. So I do not believe you could poop on somebody. That's fine. You don't got to sell me on that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
you'd be chanting YOLO in your head, and then it'd be like just anxiety would take over, and you'd be like, "Ooh, I'm getting stage fright." Like, what with your erection? Oh no, I have a rager. I just can't poop right now.
All right, we'll get back to all this conspiracy and the bridge and all that, but I do want to say I saw somebody, just speaking of like being, a little self-conscious, I saw somebody, there's this whole thing going around, say the weird thing out loud, and some girl's like, being naked is weird, but being naked and wearing shoes makes you feel more naked. And I thought about it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, she's 100% right. There is something
That's right.
much weirder about having shoes on while you're nude than actually just being nude.
Sometimes you need the traction, though.
What if you're in heels? It's a whole genre.
Traction's traction, man.
I saw there was another one. So there was a morning press conference outdoors. I'm assuming somewhere near the Scott Key Bridge, where it was Westmore and Brandon Scott. So the governor of Maryland and the mayor of Baltimore, and Brandon Scott, who I think is like 42, was
35.
Yeah,
35.
he's
Is he
like-
35? Okay, whatever. 35. He was like in a Letterman's jacket, and I don't remember if it was his alma mater, high school, college.
No, I think it was
what-
a Baltimore City one. Like
I think he was Baltimore City College. You're right, with a C. And some Keith Obelman wannabe motherfucking limp dick piece of shit. And that's right. I'll draw my own conspiracy. He cannot get an erection, but he wears a sports coat and has a green screen, and that's all he does on TikTok. He presents the news as a newscaster, and this is his news station. And his whole thing was, it seems weird, it seems fishy. This seems like it was preemptive. This seems like a conspiracy. Hey, did you see that Baltimore mayor get in front of the cameras? God, he looks like he's 13. I thought it was LeBron James's agent getting up there and talking. What the hell has this world come to? I was like, you schmuck. You're not even trying to hide your racism. First of all, you're a piece of shit. And this is your outlet. Oh, you're a citizen journalist. I'm sorry. I got confused. For a minute, I thought you were fucking, like I said, Keith Olbermann. You're not. You're Limp Dick Olbermann, his retarded cousin. I said it, retard. Sorry. Sue me.
No, that's a crime of passion. It's okay. We'll let it slide.
He means slow-brained, which makes it better.
If I can find that, I'll tag him in one of our videos. Right.
I saw a couple of things about him looking so young, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, isn't that what we want? I mean, this comes back to journalism. This comes back to bad journalism. Like, we pump up these people that are in their fucking 80s now. I mean, Trump and Biden are both old. Let's be honest. You can say one is more mobile and a little more quick-brained than the other one, but it doesn't matter. They're fucking old. They're from, in my opinion, almost 2 generations ago. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, God forbid. I'm not saying that, Mayor Scott is my favorite politician in the world, but at least I know that the decisions he makes not only affects my future, but his own moving forward. And so maybe he'll make better decisions because this ain't his fucking last-ditch effort. Yeah. He's just starting his political career.
Oh, man, on a presser at 5:30 in the morning when it's pitch dark, freezing his ass off, and he's probably been up for the last 4 hours, off of 2 hours of sleep. He was in a Letterman's jacket, talking to everyone, trying to calm everyone's nerves, let everyone know that it's okay. We're taking care of business. This fucking schmuck. Sorry, he pissed me off. Yeah. Some of these conspiracy loons, but that was his whole spiel. This seems weird. That mayor looks funny.
And he gave the best fucking answer to the stupid question I've heard in a long time. The guy asks him, when do you think another bridge is going to go up? And his fucking answer is like, I don't think right now is the best time to think of like bridge construction. It's time to worry about the families of the victims here and find the people that we've lost today. This is a tragedy, and we're not going to fucking talk. We'll talk about building bridges when the time for that comes, but this is not the time. Yeah. For that. And that's a great fucking answer because it's a human answer. It's exactly what you're supposed to say because it's not political. It's fucking real. We need more fucking realism. And I don't like a lot of the guy's policies, but I like the guy now, and that's okay. That gets us. That's a bridge to somewhere positive.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked the guy. Like, I voted for him when we were in the city. Like, I think he's young. He's bringing a different perspective. This city's a fucking trash heap. One mayor's not going to fix this overnight. Like, people need to chill the fuck out. But you're right. They attack him for the shit. They attack him for his afro. They attack him for his fucking jacket. Like, but you're right. That was the answer he gave in the morning that I was like, fuck yeah, man. And I saw a lot of comments under that video, and it was interesting because you could see kind of the generational disparity where like the old folks were like, oh, it's terrible, but he's got to get that bridge open. People got to work. And then the fucking, like, millennials, Gen Zs, A's were like, guys, shut the fuck up. Like, you'll get your Amazon, fucking BMWs will come rolling into the fucking port again. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, why are we talking about this? Like, it's about time people and politicians start saying shit like that to the public, being assholes.
Well, I hope you understand then why a lot of people gravitate towards Trump is because he fucking just says shit, and you can agree or disagree with what it is he's talking about, but like the way in which he says it, I don't think is very presidential, but I think that's why people like it because they're like, he just said the shit that I would say, but he's the guy that could be running the country and did. So like people respect that because it's not very polished, but it's fucking honest.
I mean, I get that. I mean, listen, you've heard me say some shit that on this fucking here podcast because I don't care what I say. So, like, I'm the first person to be like, yeah, I do enjoy that about old Trumpito. But highest office in the land. We've got to have a fucking modicum of fucking decorum and respect. I don't know if that's our guy.
No, well, I mean, I don't want to turn this into a presidential fucking candidate fucking speech, but like, no, but this is the only thing I'm going to say. I think leading up to the election is like, at least the devil you know is that guy. The devil you don't know with Biden is every fucking like shady shadow government conspiracy agent who's fucking behind the scenes like, ooh, we can do whatever we want right now.
I
4
mean,
more
is it not
years.
the same, but with fucking just not shady government people, but like fucking very blatant corporate fucking abuse? Like, it's the same shit. It's just been
I
with.
know. I
you
guess I
Do you
guess
want
I
your
like.
corporate overlords to be shadow overlords, or do you want to fucking get Kellogg's branded into your ass cheek because they own you now? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
I think, which version of authoritarian do we want?
I like my authoritarian with a fucking comb over pomp. That's what I like.
I don't know that that's what that's called, but okay.
Comb over pomp.
But I was going through some of the conspiracies. I didn't realize until I started just brainstorming this how many were actually out there. You got obviously Trump and Biden in general, Princess Kate. You got the Diddy fiasco that's happening right now. We have Flat Earth to contend with. Of course, all the body counts in the Clinton administrations. DEI, you've mentioned that too. Maui, we almost forgot about that. Wes mentioned the upcoming Civil War, which is, of course, going to take place, December? Is that when we're
think so.
scheduled? Okay. Anything Russia and or Ukraine, the vaccine. I mean, that's just, it goes on and on and on. I don't know how we even have time for truth when there's so much just delicious spoonfuls of conspiracy to contend with.
It's insanity. Dude, I think people, no, I don't think, I know. People outside of the country look at us and they're like, Jesus Christ, what's going on over there? Like, what is happening? But also, I think there was one I saw about a Netflix movie that I haven't seen. Like, I think the conservatives are like, the Obamas made it.
No, they did make it, actually.
There's like a boat in the movie, and they were like, "Yep, see, Obama's called it fucking world ending, elites, global elites, lizard people," and it's just like, what? I've never seen the film. I believe the Obamas like maybe were asked some consultative questions. I don't think they were like on set being like, "Hey man, you gotta move it." Stand over here. Here's your spot. I don't think they Scorsese'd a fucking Netflix film that has alluded to the Baltimore Bridge coming down, is what I'm saying. Craziness.
Joe Murray, in conclusion, everything's a conspiracy. Everything
Everything's a
involving,
conspiracy.
Yeah.
Anything. I mean, I can make up a great conspiracy about this. I mean, I mean, it's real easy, and I feel like if I presented this, I'm doing the world a favor by not presenting this, but I will present it now. So you've got Russia and Ukraine going on, right? So if you did now in Russia, of course, there was a terrorist attack by ISIS. By the way, they're going by ISIS-K now, and they shot up a bunch of people in a mall. Now, were they really ISIS, or were they paid for by through proxy Ukraine from America? Well, how do you get back at us for doing that? You hire a bunch of Singaporean nationals to drive a boat into a bridge. Now, you'd make them do it where they call the Mayday in so it doesn't look like a terrorist attack, yet shuts down one of the most busy ports in all of America, so it doesn't look like something bad happened, but it crushes us economically without starting a fire, like a hot war. And so here we are. And you see how the bridge came down. Ooh, there just so happened to be the only people on the bridge, a construction crew capable of setting charges on strategic spots. Interesting how that happened all at once. Ooh, you lost power, but you got power back, but then you lost it again right before you hit the pylon. Interesting. You also hit it right at the triangle point where you could cripple that one spot that destroyed the entire truss section of the bridge.
Now here's a question though, for like just conservatives, we're just playing devil's advocate here. Like, there seems to be a lot of minorities and immigrants involved in this elaborate scheme, and you guys don't tend to trust those people.
What do you mean? Well, they're the patsies. You hire the people you don't trust to be patsies to go down, so you don't have to stick up for them when the time comes.
But like, your guys' logic is they're all rapists and thugs, so they're now demolition experts. that
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
that moonlight as MTA employees. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, you they don't
That you
listen.
murder, of course, that you kill.
they also learn how to pilot 200,000-ton ships through deep water channels across the globe.
Well, they don't have to do it well. They just have.
And the arguments fall apart.
Well, they don't have documentation, so you can
Well,
create from.
clearly
can-
they have a white person telling them what to do. We wouldn't just
Mhm.
allow them to foil this elaborate process.
I think that your bias is blinding you from how crafty this operation really is. You've got a bunch of immigrants, right? And you're like, listen, I'll print you up some paperwork, get you a good job.
This is like the Bidens at once the evil genius running America into the ground, but also the fucking completely inept Alzheimer's patient who fucking like drools on himself.
It's the same thing with George
He's
W.
both at
It's
the same time.
Well, it's the same thing as George W. Bush, the biggest dullard to ever run the country, also somehow managed to fly 2 planes into a building electronically or remotely or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking stupid argument that's made
It's
time
the
and
guy who
time
said,
again.
"Watch this drive." Like he orchestrates flying buildings into a fucking airplanes into 2 buildings.
Hey, what happens if I hit the green button?
Uh-huh. Yeah, and then they don't have to explain the ramifications of how it not only fucks over the little guy, the middle class folk like ourselves, but also the man. You know what I mean? The owners of the corporation that make hand over fist with all this commerce and trade and goods being shipped into the city. All the people that they employ that now are going to have to, like take time off or get PTO or get laid off, and they don't get paid because of their work. The amount of people that drive over that bridge daily to get to work, they're going to have to take other routes and things like that. Like, oh, well,
What if,
no, I mean, listen, the man is in on it. Okay. I'm not worried about those details.
Here's one that I think Murr will like. So like maybe, just maybe, fucking let's like Elon Musk was like, I need a new this whole Swedish plant is going fucking sideways because I'm definitely trying to not pay those guys to do work, but they're European, so that really doesn't work. So what if I ram a boat into the port of Baltimore, at which point I can basically just buy Baltimore and make it Muskville, you know what I mean? And then
I like
instead
that.
of a bridge, I'll use my untested boring technology to make a new tunnel across the channel.
Yeah.
And boom, Muskville activated.
I like Musktopia a little
Okay,
bit better
yeah,
than
that's fine.
Muskville. Okay.
I was gonna say Muskburg at first, but it felt like a lot.
Ugh. Muskelvania sounds better. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
No, I would say that just to kind of put a ponytail, a bow tie on this motherfucker, like if it was a conspiracy before the sun hath risen, the Pentagon would have been blaming a foreign national, a foreign group, a foreign country. That's how you know it's not a conspiracy, because no one was immediately blamed by the federal government. This was an accident. It happened. It sucks. I just don't think we've witnessed since 9/11 something come down so catastrophically and with so many camera angles. I mean, what did it in for me for this was an accident was somebody, I guess, lives really close to the bottom of the bridge, was filming, and you get a really sharp, I think I sent it to you guys too, where that
It's
V
Curtis
shape
Bay is the area.
that upside down V formation on the pylon, once that one snaps, it just turns to dust and it's gone. It's Dunsky. And I'm like, oh, well, that's all your structural weight right there. And once that goes, the whole thing's just, it's done. It's over. And it sucks. And I just hope, I hope upon hope that they won't fucking bureaucratically drag their feet on the next project, who's awarded the contract, yada, yada, yada. Because I'm not kidding. As soon as the NTSB has done their investigation, you could literally have a structurally sound modern bridge up 6 months to a year if they just don't dick around and just get it the fuck done.
I have a feeling that's what it's going to be because it's such a big port. Like, because again, I was talking to somebody else about this. So keep in mind, like, everything that comes into DC comes through the fuck port of Baltimore. So all those fancy leather fucking chairs that we've used Chinese babies to make. Like we need fucking they just come into the port of Baltimore, and these senators ain't sitting fucking their asses on cheap shit. You know, they're not fucking. They're not calling up their Herman Miller rep and picking up a fucking a Skadansk and fucking having at it. You know what I mean? Like they want something fucking fancy. So yeah, I think you're going to. And like I just saw, I think Mayor Pete fucking was doing press conferencing, but like because I think with what it is, the federal government's going to be like build this fucking bridge as fast as humanly possible, and it's really about getting the port open too.
My major conspiracy theory, though, is that this was done on purpose by the city of Baltimore, because as we record this, tomorrow is opening day, and Peter Angelos just died, and they are going to attempt to do a moment of silence. And if they did that moment of silence solely for Peter Angelos, there would be a choir of boos. But if they say, everybody, we're going to have a moment of silence for former owner Peter Angelos and the victims of the Scott Bridge catastrophe. And everybody's going to be like, hey, I want to boo, but I need to be silent for the bridge.
The semi-sober friend's going to be elbowing the drunk friend. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Put your fucking head down. Shut the fuck up. I'll punch you. Yeah. And Murph, you want to cut this up any way you want. You conspiracy theorists, we challenge you. You're welcome to come on. We will throw this on all social media platforms. You fucking morons who think it was conspiracy, hop on as a guest. You get a free platform to speak your mind. Tell us what you think. We're happy to hear.
We can talk about all your great hits, flat Earths, fucking space lasers, all the shit.
Whatever you got.
Okay, Alan, I need you to be back on Team Elon for a minute, okay?
Yeah, gotcha.
We need him to get this fucking starship into space with the 4K cameras it carries, because he's been so close now. The last one, he was so fucking close. And of course, everybody's like, the firmament got him again. And I'm like, God,
the firmament. I call it the gummerment, but yeah, that's funny.
So we need Elon to fucking like finally punch through all the way and give them no fucking excuse. I mean, they'll make one up. Don't get me wrong. But we need to rob one more fucking, we just need to rob one victory from them.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that one. They're gonna find a way around it, though. They're gonna be like, "Look, Elon's one of them." That's all that happens. Is once the cognitive dissonance wall hits, they're just like, "Well, he's one of them. See, he's an elite."
Elon's cool. Like, you can disagree with me. I know you will, but Elon, I think, is cool enough that if they actually take like citizens up on one of those things, that he would be like, "Let's get a flat earther on there. We need to solve this once and for all." And I hope he does.
I don't really take exception with anything in that statement other than Elon is cool. Like,
I said cool enough. I didn't say cool. I said cool enough. That's the qualifier.
That's a stretch, honestly.
That's a cool dude, man.
No, he's not. He is absolutely a fucking dork. Like, if you went to high school with that kid, you would have bullied him.
Sure, but that's how you get fucking hundreds of billions of dollars. You're not the fucking cool kid for life. You're cool once you've got $100 billion. You spend half your fucking net worth on a social media platform because you want to.
Yeah, you're a dork. You're still a dork.
That's a cool dork move, okay? Of all the cool, he could have bought a fucking $1 billion yacht. No, he bought Twitter.
It's just pretty generally dorky. He was like, well, they're making fun of me, so I'm going to buy it.
It was all because they shut down the Babylon Bee.
I'm a rich nerd. This is mine now. It's like the nerd donates fucking all the money to build the new athletic facility at his high school. He was like, see, fucking bullies. Can't get me now. They play in my gym. It's like, yeah, you're still a fucking dork. I will still beat you up if you're by yourself. Like,
Zunich, I have said if I ever get rich and I donate back to my high school, and I'm going to do a brand new athletic facility across the board, football field, stands, lights, press box, if you need that in Perryville, Maryland, both softball and baseball fields, soccer fields, but outside of the football field, I'm going to have a statue of myself. And mind you, I've never put on football pads in my life. Football pads in a throwing motion like I'm Johnny Unitas with a bronze plaque that has fake statistics about how I led Perryville to a state championship.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, they have to put it up. Like, do you want the money and the fake fake stats of me that people have to touch my shoe when they go into the stadium, or no money at all. Take it or leave it, man. What do you want? What do you want?
You know what? I will suggest this a little bit of a bridge further. Like you don't even have to call them state or county or any kind of records. Like school record, just school record and everything is like just out of reach of it. Like he ran a 8.5 100-meter dash.
Yeah, wind dated. They couldn't make it a world record. So
You're right. Yeah, it wasn't.
yeah,
It was
sure.
unofficial because there was gale force winds that day.
That's right. Yeah, just it'll be lovely. It'll be lovely. Middle Classels, everyone. Alan, Foxman, and Murr. Well, thank you all for listening to that rant. I had to get it off my chest. I feel better. It's therapy talking to you guys about this because I fucking was stewing listening to these clowns. And of course, the algorithm gets me. I comment on one, next one. Oh, it's another one. Another one. Another one. Jesus Christ, they don't stop. Like, yup, you can't tell me. There's a guy who was asking, he's like, oh, my other Coast Guard fam out there. Let me ask you this. I was like, you were in the Coast Guard? What qualifications do you have? You rode a boat around on fucking water.
He's no merchant marine.
I should make a. That's what I'm saying. I should make a fake one about me being a merchant marine. Look, I was a former merchant marine.
I would trust the merchant marine a little bit more than the random Coast Guard guy. Like, yeah, at least he deals with these kind of ships. This is specifically what they do. They're like, hey, you got bodies in there? Let's check it out. Let's open. How many Chineses you got in that container?
Chineses.
What's going on in there?
The proper plurality of that is Chinaman. Thank you.
It's MEN, not MAN.
Yes.
Chinamen.
And Wes, how
many million in a chazillion? Huh? I don't know.
And Wes, I was serious when I started like texting all that stuff to you guys, like, and I was like, I'm just prepping Wes. I was half joking and I was half serious because I was like, if I don't start feeding him like some like sane shit now, it's gonna get insane for him when he's got some downtime. Because I know you can't help yourself. I do want to ask this: when it comes to you responding to conspiracy theorists, what is your end game? What's your goal? Are you trying to flip them? Like, what is your intention? I think I need to know that.
You've asked me this before. It's either like, it's multifaceted. One, if you present them with facts to see if they're just going to like brush those to the side. Like, well, I don't, whether or not they trust them, whether or not they are really interested in facts, or if they'll just say like, oh, well, you heard that on the news and that's not a trustworthy source. Two, it's what's the legitimate alternative backed by fact, not some weird concocted theory that I could deconstruct with a series of questions as we just did here, about 10 or 15 minutes ago. Like, give me your legitimate alternative theory, because here's the deal. I would be willing to admit that you don't have to have an alternative theory to believe that you were lied to. But if you're not going to present me with anything, I have no choice but to just think you're completely full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, sure. I think you know that going into this, that they're full of shit and they don't know what they're talking about. Do you want to sway them from continuing on this path? Do you want to stop the next guy who comes in to read the comments to like, oh, maybe that guy's right and I should get off this fucking horse? Like, what's your motivation? I mean, there has to be something besides like making them just feel like assholes.
Yeah.
Or is that it? Make them feel like an asshole.
There may have been a time circa, I don't know, 2010 to 2012 where I was on that, like, I'm going to sway some folks. And once I realized that was, next to impossible, it was just troll.
Okay. You know what? I'll accept that as an answer. If you're just like, I'm just trolling these guys. I want them to feel bad about themselves and the theories that they've concocted and that they believe. Yeah. I would want them to know that they're losers when they fall asleep and their head hits the pillow tonight.
I like fucking with them, but not to the extent of Wes.
Right.
Like, I'm more of a, like, when you say something supremely stupid, like, I'll call you stupid, I'll, like, tag you and be like, you are fucking stupid. And, like, that usually gets a rise out of them. Or, depending on who, like, if you're boomer age and above, like, even fucking, maybe even, like, an old Gen X and above, fucking, I laugh emoji you on Facebook, and boy, do I have a fucking folder full of people who don't like that in my fucking message requests. It is fucking beautiful.
Yeah. But on the other side of that, when I try to make fun of them, my ultimate spur in this is that these people are fucking shameless. So they'll quadruple down at any point to not admit to. There's been times where I've presented them a little tidbit of fact that debunks something that they said, where I've said, hey, if you just admit you're wrong about that, your overarching conspiracy is still alive. You know what I mean? It doesn't kill everything. It just kills this small little deal. And they won't do it for the most part.
Look, some people like binging Netflix shows, and that's their entertainment. And if this is just solely your entertainment, I have no problem with that. I just want to make sure. Look, I'm doing a wellness check. Okay,
You worry about me? Yeah,
I do. I honestly do. Sometimes, especially in the past, and not so much now. I think this podcast helps you vent a lot of those frustrations and feelings. But when it's just in the comment section of a TikTok video, I feel like I'm worried about Wes a little.
Gotcha.
Because what's he plan on doing here? What's his motivation? Is he changing hearts and minds here, or is he just getting his dick hard before he goes to bed?
I will say I did worry when I first got access to the YouTube and saw how many notifications were, and I was like, "Oh, good lord! Oh, okay, yep, this is middle class holes, ladies and gentlemen."
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, this is the guy who got his own YouTube account banned, so remember that.
Yeah,
I am going to have it. Yeah, Sarah has told me a few times I need to create a separate account because it's a bad look for the podcast, which
I don't mind it. I don't mind it as long as this is your motivation. As long as your motivation is to make them feel like shit and to make yourself just like, I don't know, get a good smirk on your face before you brush your teeth. I'm fine with that too.
Yeah.
gotcha.
And honestly, a bad look for us might be good. So
That's right.
Good point.
it could help us.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Francis Scott Key, Bridge, conspiracy theorist, you have an open forum. Anytime, any fucking day, hop on.
Really,
I challenge you.
Theory. Just come on.
You chumps won't do it. I dare you. Murr, we have a friend or foe that involves restaurant reservations. Folks, I'm sure you've made one in the past, either called in, walked in, the old school style, and said, I'd like to make one for a week from now. Or now Google has a numerous amounts of outlets where you can make a reservation. It's got the Open Table is the one I use all the time. But now things might be changing. A paradigm shift might be upon us in making a reservation for you and your loved one or your family to sit down and have a meal. Murr, tell us about it.
Let's get to your friend or foe. I'm going to read a news story to you. See if you agree or disagree, friend or foe. So it's becoming increasingly common for restaurants to charge customers and their credit cards before they even step foot into the door of the restaurant. Referred to as a, quote, reservation fee and applied to the time of the booking, the charges range from $25 up to $100. And what restaurants are doing is they are taking your money, they're applying it to your credit card. If you show up, that money then gets applied to the total bill of your restaurant visit. But then if you don't show up now, they are going to charge you that fee as well. So if you decide to not cancel your reservation, make the reservation, don't show up, you're going to get charged $100. So it's pretty cut and dry. I'm not going to read the rest of the story because it's just more of that. So friend or foe, restaurant reservation fees, refundable towards the overall price of your meal, or you lose it completely for not showing up and holding up a table. Alan?
I mean, foe, I guess, I'm against it.
You're against it for, so what? Are you the asshole who makes a reservation and doesn't show up?
I mean, from time to time, but also, fuck, that's dumb. I don't know. I don't think it's stupid.
Wow, I was expecting a unanimous friend on this. We're gonna come back. Hold on. I'm gonna play Master and Commander again for once. I haven't done that in a while. I'm gonna stop you there. We'll come back. Wes, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think there was a time and day where if you had asked me this, I said I'm foeing this. That it's a free country. Things happen. Emergency take place. Sometimes you make a reservation and you're just not in the mood. But I'm starting to side with the side. I'm starting to agree with the side of the business that if you're not occupying those two seats that could have otherwise been occupied by two other people who walked in or could have made another reservation to put money in these people's pockets, paid for food, I get it. $100 seems a bit much, but again, times are changing. That might be the national average. I have had meals that are less than $100, but I mean, I'm friending it for the sake of the restaurants. So just coming out of COVID, a lot of these, restaurants is a tough business. It's tough to keep those afloat.
Yeah, I'm friending this as well because I wouldn't make the I would if I make the reservation. For me, an introvert like myself, it's gonna force me to go out and do the thing that maybe I was uncomfortable doing in the first place. I was like, man, well, we got that reservation. It's and then we start hemming and hawing, and it's well, let's just not go. Nope, this is gonna make me go. This is for me, as somebody who doesn't get out of the house very often, if I make that reservation and I've got skin in the game already, I've already paid for my meal, I just have to show up and eat it, then I'm gonna fucking honor that. And yeah, there's been plenty of times where I've gone into a restaurant and it's oh, well, what about that table? Oh, it's reserved. Are they here? What the fuck? And there's no consequence for that person. There's so many Karen-esque Chad douchebags out there that will make reservations all over the place and then decide at the last minute which one they want to accept. That I just feel if you want to fucking be flaky, you're going to get charged for it. So for once, I'm actually, yay, friend this thing. Good on the establishment for fucking putting their foot down. They've probably gotten burned so many times that this has now had to become the rule because of the Allens of the world. Alan?
Yeah, I mean, that's reasonable. That's absolutely. I don't like the premise of it. I get I get it. It's low margin fucking work coming at restaurants. It's not easy. So do I get it? Sure. Will Alan make a reservation at one of those restaurants? Absolutely not.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, good. They don't want your reservation.
Yeah, they don't. That's right. Because I'm definitely going to probably do some stuff when I get home from work and then be like, I don't really feel like it. I'm good. I'm on this couch.
God damn it. You know what, Alan, you're pissing me off because I respect that fucking answer from you. I know me. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll make a reservation if they're not going to fucking charge me for it. But if they are, that restaurant can kiss my balls.
And it's real. And look, man, I'm, I guess, a fickle creature, but it's really easy. Kelly will look over and be like, hey, you know, fucking just get some Taco Bell? Yeah, that sounds cool. That's fine. And just be like, fuck it. Yeah, I know how it goes. And yeah, that's as long as I have the freedom to not fucking have to do that, then I'm good with it.
Yeah, a lot of these restaurants are saying up to 12 hours in advance. If you cancel, they won't fucking charge you as long as they have the opportunity to re-reserve your reservation. Then, again, I feel like that's fine. I even like doctor's offices. Now, if you change this over, which doctor's offices already do this, fuck a doctor's office. Yeah. Because a doctor's office will give you a 12 p.m. fucking appointment. You'll walk in the door, be here 15 minutes early. You get there at 11:45. Noon comes around. 12:15 comes around. 12:30 comes around. And you're like, hey, why don't you give me my fucking doctor's appointment visit money back now? Because this is way beyond. I haven't even gone back yet. The thing I'm here for that's going to take time is already fucking eaten into my day. When you go to a doctor's office, you got to take a whole day off because you don't know when the fuck they're going to see you, even though they have forced you to make a reservation for your fucking time. Doctor's offices need to kiss your ass when it comes to fucking cancellation fees.
Yeah, Mer's in the lobby will someone stick their finger in my ass already? Jesus Christ. What's sticking around for?
It's a good point though, because I haven't been to a doctor in the last 20-ish odd years that I didn't I was there. I took up max 10 to 15 minutes of their time, and that's probably stretching it. You know what I mean? So who are the people that are going in there taking up an hour of doctor's time or an hour and a half or whatever, setting the whole schedule? What's going if the doctor enters a room and we've reached the hour mark, there probably should be at the hospital. Or at least somewhere else that's not this place, because it seems like there's a lot going on in there, and we got some shit to handle out here. You know what I mean?
I will say that and I will defend the doctors at this point, is let's say you go in for a routine checkup, and then they find something, and it's uh-oh, we got to talk about this, and it ain't a short conversation. I get that, but if you have a practice, you should have enough people in there that are qualified to like, nothing wrong here. You can go about your day now. Like those nurses and the people who the prep nurses and shit, they know they're not qualified to give you the ultimate good news or the ultimate bad news, but they're qualified enough to be like, I'm looked at your x-ray, there's no problem. I'll show it to the doctor, and if he finds something, we'll call you and schedule a new appointment.
Right.
Yeah.
Nurse
Good day.
practitioners.
I mean, I like where your head's at, but I know enough shitty fucking girls that went to shitty fucking community colleges that became shitty fucking nurses, and
that's a-
hard pass.
I know, but like, I mean, I'm talking about something obvious, like something even
They're
somebody
like,
who,
hey, your legs broke. Like, yeah, okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
fair. All right.
yeah. Like, we'll pass it on to the doctor. He'll look at it after hours, and if he sees anything, we'll have you come back in. But
Yeah.
for now, you're solid. Have a good
Yeah,
day.
you got a cleft asshole. It's okay. Don't worry. We'll
It's
take
fine.
care of you. Al, here's something that might hit home a little bit more. Something that might be a little more, I guess, impactful than a dinner reservation at a restaurant. A tea time.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a great. That's good for you guys. Yeah. Okay. So, Alan, someone has reserved the tea time.
Mhm.
You've gotten there early because you've reserved your tea time. It's at 10:15, and the person who's supposed to tee off at say 10:25, they haven't shown up yet. So, like, can you guys just hold the tee box until we're just expecting this foursome to show up? They don't show up. Now you're late getting fucking teed off. How teed off are you?
Actually, if a foursome doesn't show up in front of me, I'm like,
Okay. God
all
damn
right.
it.
No, but no, I get what you're saying. I also fucking like I have also not booked tea times at places I have to pay the greens fee up front.
Okay.
So I'm like,
Okay. Which is the thing, Mur. There are some that just they're like, okay, cool, and then
Yeah.
there's others that are like,
Saturday 8 a.m. rolls around, and I'm like,
Okay, I'm
Better
asking a
not do that today.
seemingly dumb question. So you've paid for your round of golf, correct?
Mhm.
Are the greens
not all,
fees on?
not all of them do that. Not all of them do. There are some that just take your name and phone number, and then you pay when you get there. There are others that kind of like the restaurant biz that want either half or all of it up front.
I mean, if I'm gonna be there, I don't understand. I don't really get the difference. But is there a difference between like the fee that you're paying to play a round of golf and greens fees?
No, that's
No.
the fee that you pay. That's the
Same
that's what it's called.
Okay,
That's
gotcha.
like its formal name. Yeah. So no, like it depends, and that's again, if that's I think a weird situation too, because like, I can't like if I don't go play golf at the golf course, I can't get Taco Bell golf course. You get what I'm saying? Like, what am I what am I gonna play video game golf? Like, you know what I
Pick
mean?
your
Like,
putt.
I don't have an alternative. Like, if I'm like, oh, we could go eat like fucking scallops, and this, or I could just say fuck it and get a quesadilla and a Baja Blast. You know what I mean? Like that's an easier pivot. That's an easier pivot than me being like, oh
Right.
my god, let me not go to the swanky golf club and like go to Carrot Park, I guess. You know, I mean, like it's just different. Like, so that one I kind of get. And if I'm going to one of those expensive ones that usually takes my money first, it's like an event. So I'm going. I'm gonna go. But like when I make
By the
the
way-
Mount Pleasant fucking jams for like fucking Sunday 10 a.m., yeah, that's nah. I'll see you later.
But by the way, Alan has a perfect litmus test golf course restaurant and or kitchen shack food that should be a staple. Alan, do you remember what it is?
I mean, for me, it's a Chicky Caesar. It's a
Chicken Caesar wrap. That's Alan
right.
says that every golf course in America that has what you deem as a kitchen, that has to be on the menu and it has to be decent. That has to be,
Yeah.
you know, better than normal.
There are golf courses I won't go to anymore because of their Chicky Caesar wrap just being trash. Just
Reservations
absolute garbage.
aside.
Yeah.
I know we're gonna be getting to Fun Fact Friday here soon, but Alan's brought up Taco Bell several times, and did you know that the PepsiCo, the Pepsi Cola Corporation, purchased Taco Bell through Yum's Foods
Mhm.
so they could put their Baja Blast and Pepsi products in the fucking fountain machines to keep Coke out of those restaurants. So they are a subsidiary of PepsiCo solely to keep Coca-Cola out of their restaurant industry, which is why, by the way, I have not eaten Taco Bell in God knows how long
Oh, really?
because I'm such a Coca-Cola. I'm not by proxy. I'm a Coke supporter. I don't give a shit. I just don't like any Pepsi products. I don't know what it is about their manufacturing process or how they mix the syrups. There is nothing about their beverages that appease me in any way, and therefore I have not been to a Taco Bell in 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, that's a bold statement. I don't know. All of them?
All of them. Because I'm a diet guy, and there is no diet Pepsi product that is appeasing. It pleases my palate in any capacity.
Nice. Yeah, well, that's fair.
You need a palate
Hey, you're one
pleaser.
or the other. Yeah, yeah. At least you're not like, you know what? I'm an RC Cola man. I don't really like
Oh wait,
strictly
anybody know?
Canada Dries. Fuck.
Anybody?
Go to Tim's Fish House up in Elk Neck to find RC on the tap. It's the only place
RC?
I know of.
Anyone? RC? Anyone? Anyone?
What?
What does it stand for?
Royal Cola.
Nope.
Well, I don't know.
Wesley.
Richard Clifford.
Close.
Don't know.
Alan. You were very close. It's Royal Crown.
I did know that actually.
Which is stupid because what other kind of crown is there besides royal? You fucking turds.
Oh, by the way, Kate has stomach cancer. Just so you guys know.
Supposedly,
Allegedly.
I saw a guy who does deep fakes who said that's a deep fake, and I didn't believe him at first, and then he dragged me down the rabbit hole. He grabbed me like a fucking character out of Alice in Wonderland.
I believe that one actually.
Well, she's wearing the same outfit, everything, hairstyle, everything, in some promotional footage for, I don't know, some sick kids and shit. That it was when William, Harry, and her were doing some kind of fundraiser, and she's wearing all of that shit: the jeans, the shirt, the hair, the speech pattern. I'm like, oh shit! And I've seen I don't know how many fucking times on like TikTok and Instagram, like it's always Elon Musk. It's like, Elon, I heard you're giving away a new coin. And he's like, yes, that's right. I'm going to be giving away 50 Bitcoins. All you have to do is log on to, and they gives a fake web address to fucking infect your computer with fucking malware. I'm like, oh shit. If they can do that, they can do that. Yeah. So I don't believe that was necessarily her in the video. I'm not saying she doesn't have stomach cancer. I'm just saying that video was probably bullshit.
Well, the household theory here is that, like, yeah, that was fake. Her eyebrow, that one eyebrow. And somebody, like, I had seen another deep fake thing where it was like, there was a video of her where, like, she was kind of dressed down and she had, like, a headband on. And it looked like it had pulled that eyebrow up all wonky like, and I think the AI might have captured that wonk when it tried to recreate her. But either way, the general consensus here is that, like, within a month or so, they'll be like, oh, the cancer took her.
Yeah,
they fucking just killed that bitch.
I don't know what the end game is going to be on this.
Yeah.
But like Alan's saying, like, if you watch that video, if you're looking at it on your screen, the right eyebrow, her left eyebrow, for whatever reason, for no reason, it juts straight up into her hairline.
Yeah,
and you're like, what? I looked at it like 50 times, and because at first I was like, oh, now I feel bad because we just recorded that show yesterday, and now here she is, and we look like dick bags. And then I'm like, but there's something odd about this video. And then, of course, TikTok confirms my bias immediately, and so is Alan. So I don't feel as bad because when Alan and I are on the same page about some fucking shenanigans like this,
you know, it's
I feel like I'm okay to be correct.
If we capture a soundbite for anything, it should be Alan. That AI captured that wonk. That's that right there.
It was like, yeah, that one. That's human. Like the robot was like, that is human, and then just put it onto her face. It's like,
Dude, it's going to be a problem because the other thing I've seen recently too is a lot of like video game expos where they're showing how they're like, you've got the Real Engine like 5, which is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
But now some company has like blended the Real Engine with their proprietary artificial intelligence technology where like you just basically like type in like, I want a world where the Clintons have built an island filled with all of Jeffrey Epstein's greatest dreams. And it'll populate a fucking island full of like candy canes and children. And it's like, what the fuck? And it looks realistic as shit. And you can't tell the difference. Actually, in all seriousness, like it was like a jungle setting. And somebody was like, well, what if you want the vehicle to go to the left? And they just take the cursor and click on the mountain and drag it slightly to the right. And the whole scene changes to make one little lane, but it all still looks perfect and real. Like it's a Hawaiian island or some shit. It's wild. So our eyes are going to deceive us very, very soon.
I mean,
our eyes are going to be deceived by AI.
Our eyes are deceived by fucking shadows, man. You think we stand a chance against robots?
Good point.
No. All right, so folks, your reservation may be terminated or maybe consumed by $100 insurance policy. Reservation insurance? Is that what they're going to call it?
Or maybe you say fuck it and go to Taco Bell.
Well, the bottom line is like the kind of restaurant you're making a reservation to, $100 doesn't sound like that's not a big leap to be like the entirety of the bill. So I just feel like I've paid for my dinner up front.
Yeah, I think depending on the place, I would be like okay with it. Like I'm not $25 you at like, tacos. That's not happening. I'm not doing that. I might not show up to tacos. But
yeah, well, for $25, I'd be willing to
going to a swanky fucking
if it comes down to
dinner
whether
with
I care or not, $25 ain't gonna make or break me. I'm fine with
it's
that.
like $100. Well, then yeah, I probably okay. All right, I'm gonna spend like $200 anyway. Fuck it, let's go. You know what I mean? That's not a big deal. I think it's all situational. Kind of like my golf course thing. Swanky golf course. All right, take my money. I'll be there. I see you.
I'm getting a chicken Caesar wrap while I'm there. I'll tell you that.
Tacos. I got a truck in a parking lot that does what you guys do. I'm not paying you $25.
It's just called tacos though. They
not the third one.
Yeah,
I see my generic for anything. Like if it's if it was a store that sold widgets, it'd be widgets. Like, you know what I mean? It's just that 3 times. Whatever we do 3 times.
Same with midgets?
Yeah, midgets. We'd sell midgets. Well, rent them. Obviously, we can't sell. It's a different time.
Because if you're renting a midget, you might as well rent 3.
Sorry,
right?
little people, and we would rent.
Right.
Damn you, Lincoln.
We only sell them in packages, sir, by the 3. All right, Murr, let's knock us up or down a couple IQ points, whichever way you look at it with Fun Fact Friday.
Let's get to it. It's time once again for OMG Facts. Brought to you, of course, by our great friend over on Instagram. You can find him. His name is the Cuckster. Cuckster 4 Live. Cuckster, the number 4 Live. Go find out about the adventures of the Cuckster. Maybe Vince McMahon will make an appearance sometime soon.
Can I be Vince?
Like Pimp McGraham or something.
Pimp McGraham. God, these are some...
I might be inclined to fucking shave this all off for a fucking pencil thin mustache.
Hold on, I've got to write
Alan,
this down.
We need more recordings in a week or 2. So
that's a hint.
Maybe I'll start making up some characters with the brown guys, like a sexual chocolate, sexual chocolate. They do need to change his name. I'm just Mark Henry at that point. Yeah, I'm just digging here.
That was a hint to me, Alan. I need to record some stuff here. So far, some of the faithfuls that'll be making a visit to the Cuckster's wife. She's already been visited by lathering Nick nude. Jake, the trouser snake. Of course, you've got the American cream musty hose. The ultimate horror eater. He'll be stopping by. Jacksaw rim huggin. He'll be making an appearance at some point. Let's see. Wham Wham Cuckalo. He'll be stopping by at some point. Cuckold Steve Ballin. He'll be showing up with the Ballin 369 at some juncture in the very near future. But if you'd like to find out what the Cuckster is up to currently, make sure you check out Cuckster for Life on Instagram. Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Did you know? Before our world was covered in trees, it was actually blanketed by giant mushrooms. These species towered 7.3 meters high and up to a meter wide. Scientists found ancient fossils of these gigantic structures and were able to determine that they were, in fact, fungi. That comes back to the theory that you and I have held pretty close to our hearts for the past 2-3 years, Alan, is that we are actually, what do you call it? Domesticated by fungus more than anything else that we think we've domesticated.
Yep. 100%, man. We are fucking mushroom pets.
And we don't even know it.
Nope. We just feed mushrooms. That's all we do. We have long lifespans, but we feed mushrooms.
It doesn't matter how long our lifespans are because every couple of seconds somebody dies, and then the mushroom factory pumps another one out. Some creepy vagina somewhere in the world.
So that I mean, do you think there's somewhere in the world where a wild mushroom has grown a few feet? You know, something that's like a weed.
Oh,
or
what,
something
currently?
Like that? Yeah. I mean, you're not getting these 30 footers like you just explained, which is fucking wild.
That's bonkers,
big
dude.
That is insane.
I'm sure. I mean, you know, you stumble across something weird every now and again. I mean, like, what was it? I can't remember when it was, how many decades ago it was, but they found like an elephant that was like only a few feet tall, and it was on an island, and it was like one of the, you know, because islands, like, evolution on islands happens really, really, really quickly.
Yes.
At one point, in Australia, there were like wombats, like the size of elephants.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure one of these things randomly pops up here and there. But just the fact that, like, I don't know, like I learned that like sharks are older than trees. Like, that's how the fuck like your brain can't conceive of these things. Like, there's stuff out in the cosmos that we can't fathom. And like ancient Earth is one of those things where, like, anybody who wants to time travel, good luck. You have no fucking clue what you're getting yourself into.
Like, I was like a kind of an example that I saw because I was watching this like Alexander the Great kind of like documentary / like dramatization. It was like both. You know what I mean? They would like show like a dramatized, like acted clip of like him fucking, I don't know, doing something silly. And fucking, but like, I don't know, being gay, because he was.
I thought you said being great. Just I'm
Well,
great.
yeah, you know, well, he was average Alex at that point, but either way. Well, like, they were digging.
Alexander the
They fucking. But my point is like they were digging. Like an archaeologist was digging in the city of Alexandria because Alexandria founded by Alexander. Surprise! In case you guys didn't know that.
There's a lot of Alexandrias, by the way.
In Egypt, like the one that
Yeah,
Alexander would. Yeah, not Alexandria, Virginia. Unfortunately, he did not find that.
Yeah, but there were like, apparently there were like 5 Alexandrias in the giant region.
Yeah, the one that matters, the one with the library, you know,
Right.
that no longer exists. But like, so they were digging in downtown Alexandria as it exists now, right? And fucking, they were looking for basically the evidence of Alexander's Alexandria, like the city that was built when he was there. And like they had maps and like they could triangulate like where the main roads were and all this stuff. And they dug down a solid like 150, 160 feet, I think, straight through just to get to somewhere that was fucking a major metropolis. What? Not even a couple thousand years ago? Not I think a couple hundred years ago, right? Or maybe 1,000 years ago. Like,
Well, he would have been around like
when
ancient,
was that?
the pyramid. Well, the what
Yeah.
Cleopatra times. So we'll say 3,000. We'll say 3,000.
Yeah, call it 3,000 years now, right? Or yeah, he was 336 to 323. So yeah, let's call it 2,500. Nice round number. So like, a city is buried under 200 feet of earth that is only 3,000 years old. You know what I mean? And this fucking planet is, yes, flat earthers, it's billions of years old. Like, imagine the shit that we haven't found. And the oceans are a whole fucking different animal. Like, that's great. That shit's crazy. Straight up aliens.
Straight up aliens.
Don't I mean, if we're gonna go down this rabbit hole, I mean, water erosion on the fucking Sphinx, the timeline of fucking like modern history fucking being off, yada yada yada. We've talked about that before. I don't want to get into the fucking the clock scenario again with you, Alan. But yeah, no, I mean like there's shit we just don't fucking we can't comprehend about our own fucking planet. So this will probably bring us to one of our listener comments, but like that fucking bitch who kept fucking
don't worry,
commenting.
I got that one teed up. Don't worry. We'll get
Okay,
to that.
then I'll save it. Let's get on.
Hey, that's
Let's move.
just one fun fact, folks. Buckle up. There's more.
Did you know? Did you know? In 1869, a dentist was the first person to add sugar to chewing gum.
Surprise.
Was he also was he a barber as well?
He was a barber and an entrepreneur. He knew what the fuck he was doing.
It's
I've actually
bloodletting.
heard that. I've actually heard that sugar's not necessarily the thing. That it's like something I've become guilty of. And it almost 45 years old. Like I need to stop doing is like eating like late at night just before bed. That's the killer. But sugar's not good for the teeth. But sugar does make gum taste a whole hell of a lot better.
Also, it's the sugar. It's not the sugar itself. It's what the bacteria in your mouth does to sugar that then erodes your teeth.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, I agree. But I mean, look, Big Dental started fucking ages ago. You know what I mean?
Big dental.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. In 7th grade, I had an English teacher, Ms. Rock. She said something that fucking blew my mind, even to this fucking day. She was it was an aside of whatever she was talking about. And she was like, you know, when you hear those commercials, like 4 out of 5 doctors recommend this toothbrush. Well, those doctors don't necessarily have to be dentists. They can be psychiatrists. Like, oh shit. That's when I learned that the world of advertising was full of fucking like shenanigans.
Not only that, it can be like 4 or 5 doctors at the same practice, and like they didn't like take a national sampling. You know what I mean?
Right.
They were like, "Yo, here you go. These,
You know-
fucking the Family Dental down the block. They're all about Colgate, baby." You know what I mean?
4 out of 5 doctors who accepted our bribe recommend this fucking toothbrush.
Big dental. I too had Miss Rock as an English teacher when I was in middle school, and she said something to me that was incredibly profound. It's rang true, and I remember to this day. She's like, "Wes, you're an idiot." I was like, "Wow, thanks, thank you."
It's good to get it
Appreciate
out of
that
the way
one.
early, honestly.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude,
Just set a bar.
I've looked for that woman. I've looked for that woman on social media for I don't know how long because I want to see how she aged. Because Alan, she was one of those teachers that, like, you know, when you
She
caught
could
her
have
in the
gotten
eye-
it to a bunch of middle school boys. Yeah,
Oh
Yeah, I
man,
got
there would have been a line around that fucking like weird cylindrical
Yeah.
fucking staircase in the back hallway.
10 out of
Here's
10
the
out of
question.
10 middle school boys would have gladly lost their virginity to her.
Now here's the question: though. Is it one of those middle school things where she was just like a very average-looking, like younger lady, and you guys were just middle school boys, and you're like, ah.
Yes, I
Like,
think that is the case.
Because in retrospect, like the teachers I've had like that, I've like run into them or I see them back in some places. I'm like, yeah, I was 13. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
There's 2 examples of that. There's Ms. Rock and Mrs. Howell. Did you have Ms. Howell?
I didn't. I
High
didn't.
school? No.
Wait,
Okay.
but maybe she may have gotten
Ms.
married.
Cameron. Mrs. Cameron.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
she.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
See, Ms. Cameron / Ms. Howell, she was what Alan's speaking to, but she also had a great personality, and she was really high on my bullshit for whatever reason. I got bad grades, but she taught me a lot. Actually, I saw her at a bar one night, and I went up to her and I said, and I legitimately I said, "Hey, thank you," because there was a time where like she came up to me and she said, "Listen, the stuff you write is good, but you need to learn this word, elaborate." I became a storyteller after that fucking little bit of fucking knowledge dropped on me. Elaborate. You got good stories. Fill in the empty spaces. It's like, holy shit. And I thanked her for that. But she was the average chick that you're talking about. Ms. Rock was probably a little above average. Probably shouldn't have been teaching middle school.
Mhm.
Yeah, they placed some people in an all boys high school that probably didn't belong there either. Not in a like bad way, like nobody assaulted anybody, or anything, but like it's just
Oh yeah.
A little distracting.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get these people in trouble, fucking 25 years later, did you know the longest mustache ever recorded was 12 and a half feet long?
God damn.
What are you dragging around facial hair? That's ridiculous.
All right, I'm
That
starting.
shit's like. Wait, no. You have a was it Grim McFam thing to do? I think you should keep the mustache.
Yeah, no. It's got to be small and sleazy.
Like, I get a beard, right? I get a beard. I mean, 12 and a half feet, still fucking stupid.
That's insane.
But a mustache? Now, I don't know the details of this because, again, the OMG Facts calendar does not offer details. But, like, does that mean, like, from left to right?
I would
Or does that
guess.
mean
Yeah.
straight down?
And perhaps the beard was just unachievable. They found the loophole, like the mustache. If I just shaved the beard, the mustache would be an easier world record. You know?
Yeah, it could be. I would have to think that like it's imprudent to have like a waxed 12-foot wide mustache. Like you can't go through doorways. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
but if you do like an old timey Chinese fucking,
Well-
like very thin, like down to your feet. Well,
Right.
for me it'd be like down.
Okay, Alan.
Down. Like
Alan, we're gonna need your research skills. Look up the mustaches. I guarantee they waxed it and curly cued it.
Oh yeah, I mean this is definitely a hipster.
And yeah, like type in like mustache world record or something like that. And I guarantee we're gonna see something that goes like that looks like something from like Willy Wonka and the fucking chocolate factory bullshit.
Yeah.
But man, like I don't know. I've been thinking about doing the straight mustache.
So I wonder, wait, what does it say? Anything on that? Is it just that? Is that all the information you got on
That
that?
that is literally all the information.
Because like Guinness World Records says the longest mustache on a living person. Longest mustache is an English style grown by Paul Slozer that measured 63.5 centimeters, so 2 feet 1 inch, which is far shorter than 12 inches.
That's
And-
12.
No, this
This
says
person-
no,
this-
this,
Feet, sorry.
this says the longest mustache ever recorded was 12 feet long.
Right.
Which is what I
But
don't
Alan's-
understand.
Alan said living. This person could be dead. You know?
Yeah, I
This
guess
could
that's true.
eventually- yeah.
Good point.
Longest mustache ever.
Forever, yeah.
Ram Singh of India, obviously.
Hey.
Shocker.
It measured in 2010. Yeah. Okay. This is a beard. This is cheap. I think this is cheating. This is all I'm saying. I'm gonna show it to you, but I think it's cheating. Because that's.
And I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna agree with you before I even see the picture. Because it's probably like from here. It's probably this whole chin area.
Yes. Yep. You got it.
Dude, that's not a mustache. Like homeboy with
how
the
do
fucking
you-
bowler hat on, fucking, and the little thumbnail there. That's a mustache.
Yeah. This is the guy. This is the guy. Like the Guinness World Records has for that like English style mustache, but this is the one.
Yeah, homeboy just split his fucking beard
Yeah,
in
just
half.
because you grow a chop stash doesn't mean that's a fucking like that's fucking yeah.
But I cut the middle. I cut the middle.
Yeah, this is a Fu Manchu. I know your tricks, guy.
Yeah,
I've
fuck
done
you.
this. I've done this before.
Yeah,
Not quite as
Hey,
long.
he kind of looks like someone we know. Somebody who tells fortunes.
Yeah.
a little bit. All right. Did you know a block of bone the size of a matchbox can support 9 tons of weight? That's 4 times as much as concrete can support. So I'm just going to say it out loud right now. Maybe the next Francis Scott Key Bridge is made out of bone. Thoughts?
I think when bone dies, it gets brittle. So maybe like living bone. How do we do that?
Well, there's a lot of population moving up from the south. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck. But they're smart enough to blow up a bridge, control demolition.
That's why I got to get rid of them now. Build a bridge out of them.
Jesus. You know what to say to that?
I don't either. It's the beer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm having me some High Life, by the way. It's a Indian
Ooh.
Pale Ale.
Oh, I'm familiar with that.
You
Yeah,
look
yeah.
Oh, really? I had this at Disney. This is what they were selling at the bar at the
Yeah.
Disney resort I was at. And I
Cigar City,
realized,
anything Cigar City, buddy. You should pick it up.
okay, all right, fair enough. And you know what? They were only selling them in 16-ounce cans, and at 7.5%. That can get you in trouble real quick.
A sixer of the 12-ounce High Lives will get you fucking right.
That's about where we are.
Yeah.
That's why I brought up using the bones of the folks traveling north.
Migrant bones.
All right. And finally, did you know 7-Up, invented in 1920, contained lithium, the drug now commonly prescribed to sufferers of bipolar disorder?
I did not.
There's doing a lot of kind of ancient remedies that have turned out to be bullshit. You have Dennis doing sugar gum, and now 7-Up is
Well, I mean, that's probably why it stuck around for over 100 years. Is like, in its infancy, it made you feel pretty fucking good.
Yeah. I had a 7-Up today for the first time in
This
a
is-
long time. It's a 7-ouncer.
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't had a 7-Up in ages, but this is a remnant of snake oil salesman. You know what I mean? This is like the Coca-Cola with cocaine in it.
Mm.
This is like you look at the old bottle and it was like a tincture. You know what I mean? There was definitely a man with a top hat and a 12-foot mustache being like, "Listen,
Want to cure all your ailments? Come
Yeah.
on down. Mix this with a little bit of soda water, and guess what? Psoriasis gone. Bipolar disorder gone.
You've got ghosts in your bones. Come drink the 7-Up." It's just like, what? Yeah, that's the remnants of. That's how this shit starts.
Well, if you got bipolar disorder, you might think you actually have ghosts in your bones, and 7-Up will fucking cure that.
Do you have the happy sads? Drink 7-Up.
Do you have the happy sad?
It's so ridiculous. Jesus.
We are rewriting the glossary of ailments.
I got a lot of one-liners in there. We're gonna go back through this bad boy.
Stupid brain, happy sads.
Stupid brain. Oh God.
God forbid combination of the stupid brain, happy sads. Whew, good. You need
That's
two
when
7-Ups.
That's when you use 7-Up and Pepsi together.
It's right.
Well, 7-Up's a Coke product, so I'm just saying.
Oh,
Coke was on to something, man. Coke was on to Coke. That's what Coke was on to.
Coke said, "You said that there's drugs in here." You say, "We'll buy that from you."
Coke went hard back in the day. Jesus.
well, you got lazy bones.
Have some Mountain Dew. That'll wake you up. And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
One of the more satisfying Fun Fact Fridays that I can remember in recent
Shit,
history.
man, when
Not
I
that they're
picked
not
those
good,
out,
but
I
this
did-
one
I
was
did-
good.
I did not. I honestly, when I saw those facts, I was like, ugh. All right, we're going to slug through this one.
That's right.
Gold mine.
Yeah. Tonight on Before You Go, I have attended. First of all, I'm going to ask you guys this: did you during COVID or any other kind of like during that period attend anything via Zoom? I did attend a memorial service via Zoom. Did you do anything like that? Wedding, I don't know, christening of someone else's kid.
I attended this podcast during via
Yeah.
Zoom. That's about
No
it.
life events.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So I did attend a memorial service via Zoom, as did this person. They don't give her name, but turns out, and this is coming via Australia, but they identify her as a businesswoman. That's it. Right. Why couldn't it just be a person? It's like, oh yeah, she's a businesswoman because that really rings true. But anyway, she's attending a memorial service live stream via Zoom, and of course, as she's attending this, I don't know if it was just to pet her own ego or let anyone else know that she was attending the call. That she left her browser on and her camera on, and she took a shower mid memorial service. So all the attendees via the church and anyone else who was attending via Zoom got a full frontal shot of Christ. I keep looking for a name. Anyway, long story short, someone while attending the call got nude in front of a memorial service via Zoom call while taking a shower and patting down their nether regions with Lifebuoy soap. Your thoughts on? I mean, hey, does it shock you?
Nah, just I don't know. More than one stiff in the room, I guess.
You just gotta be better than that. You gotta be situationally aware. You gotta know how many outs there are, how many runners on base. You just gotta. Yeah, you fucked up. This is what it is.
How many outs do you have? How many runners on base? Whether or not you have the happy, sad, or stupid brain, right?
Yeah, whether or not you have the happy sads. Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
I
That's crazy. I mean, I've done some shit on Zoom. Like I've gone off. Nobody's seen me because I'm not dumb.
I just amazed whenever I see this shit. Like, you've got enough technological awareness to like log on to the platform and then join the room, yada yada, but not how to fucking like mute the mic or mute the camera or anything along those lines. And then I mean, here's the other thing though. No one told her. No one in the screenshot of multiple fucking cameras. Nobody was like, "Hey, Janet, we can all see what you're doing." No one bothered to like inform this person that they could be seen doing the things they were doing.
That's just I can think of this like, in the Christ of the Almighty, Janet, we can all see you in the shower, shaving your armpits. Turn your fucking camera off, dumb bitch.
Leave the bush. It looks good. Just trim it along the sides.
Some 15-year-old's like, yeah, looks like Miss Rock. Wow.
I love funerals. I can't wait for Dad to die.
Yeah. I just again, like, one, why attend this if you're just going to do that anyway, right? No one's gonna, I mean, does it mean that much?
Well,
And
I'll
I say
say
attend
this,
in air
like, there's
quotes
been
because you're not attending, you're signing on via Zoom.
sure, but I mean, obviously you're signing on via Zoom because there's some parameters that like there's multiple people attending this via Zoom. It's not just this one person. So there's circumstances that are preventing people from showing up, yada yada. So you're trying to do the right thing, and like, look, what do we? I don't even know how to qualify this statement. What society do we live in where, you have to show up in some capacity, right? Like, or you'll be frowned upon. You can't just say, "I'm busy doing this. I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it to this important event to you." And so you've got this out. You log on. Everybody's going to see me log on. I'm going to get this status from logging on. And then you forget to fucking turn the microphone or the camera off. And you got to take a shower. And you do. and then you get fucking caught by everybody there, and now you're a national news story. It's unfortunate all around.
Honestly, it's just amateur hour. Like I don't know. Like I don't sign into anything with my camera on. You gotta like ask, or I've got to volunteer. Like the last time I had my camera on, it was to introduce myself in like a networking group on a Zoom. That's the only reason my camera. I don't even have a headshot on my fucking work shit. It's just AL. That's it. That's all you get. You get my fucking initials. It's me. Do you hear this voice? This is the guy. Like that's it. This is just amateur hour. Like I said. Like come on. You gotta be better than that. The camera shouldn't have been on in the first place.
You're right. That chalk it up as the amateur hour. I think
you're the guy who was on, but then took the camera off and then went away. Oh well, now you're phoning it in. Clearly, we've seen you. You know what I mean? No, you got to set the precedent. I'm not really there at all. Period.
I bet this chick got the link super early in the day, clicked it, was like, I'm gonna go ahead and have it up so I don't forget about it, and then forgot about it.
It's possible.
And then just went about, oh shit, Jimmy's funeral's today. and then didn't think anything of it, sat down in front of the computer. Who has their fucking computer facing their fucking bathroom? Right? This was an OnlyFans fucking advertisement, and everybody in that family is now going to be logged on.
Yeah, that actually makes great sense. Like, you could have just left this in the dining room with the camera on. If it was a true accident, you took it into the bathroom, you had it facing the shower. What? I mean, did you set it up in the sink somehow or on the toilet?
Yeah, like at that point, you ain't listening. Don't take that shit into the fucking bathroom like you're listening in, trying to multitask. Bitch, you're not listening. Nobody's listening. Like
at the end of the day, though, best funeral ever.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. You know, and the movie version is the chick is like Shannon Elizabeth Hott from American Pie.
Well, from what I've seen in some deeper digging, not bad.
I was going to say the real life version is it's just some random middle-aged broad who, looks like a 4 or 5. No, not bad. Wow.
Not bad. I'd say like a 7.
I got to start attending more. I got to start crashing more funerals via Zoom. Start getting in there.
Do they have a lot of this?
I don't know, man. I mean, like Christ. I mean, listen, this might be winning the lottery as far as I'm concerned.
That's fair.
It's recording, and maybe the church allows you to record, as a participant. Doubt it, but it might be worth it.
I don't know. Well, there's footage, so there's the thing. There's the thing.
Maybe if you want to play a good practical joke, you crash it as an outsider, as a nobody, someone who didn't know, and we're using the name Jimmy, it's the guy who died, and then you, like Alan, I, or Murr take the shower, like, oh yeah, I always take the shower with the door wide open.
I always put my laptop in here.
Jimmy was a good friend of mine. We used to scrub nuts together, just like this.
And then it's you eating like walnuts. Very literal.
We used to go to Diddy's parties all the time.
Then we'd wash it down with a Baja Blast. Woo!
Nice.
All right, Alan, tell all the people who are amateur hour Zoom influencers where you can find the middle class holes.
Oh, you can find us on all your favorite social media platforms. We're at MDL Class Holes on Instagram and Twitter. We're the Middle Class Holes on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTubes, and Threads, and WhatsApp. I don't know. What else we got? Do we got any other platforms?
Anywhere you can find your podcast.
We should just sign up for random shit as the Middle Class Holes. Do we have a Truth Social? We should have a Truth Social. Is that still a thing?
That's going to be an IPO here soon.
I was like, did he liquidate that thing?
Not yet.
They lowered his bond, so he's got that, I think. Yeah.
By the way, that is a fucking baller fucking clip. Have you seen that?
Oh, the cash. I mean, kind of, except he doesn't have that cash, so he's a fucking liar.
No, he has 250 million. He doesn't have 500 million, but he's got 250. They're like, Wes,
awful.
Wes, if you haven't seen it, they're like, Mr. Trump, how are you gonna? What's your collateral for bond? And he stops and turns around and he goes, cash. It's just like, and of course everybody has made like the fucking like the fucking sunglasses coming down with the fucking joint in the mouth, like da 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 da.
Dude, you gotta love the confidence after fucking basically shitting his pants that he was gonna have like property seized. And
Well,
then
bottom line is,
having an appeals judge be like, all right, buddy, here's 10
Well-
more days and we'll lower it down. Fucking
He's-
the audacity to be like, cash. Be like, bitch, you couldn't get funded for this bitch like a day ago.
He's no Randy Moss. He's no
Dude,
Randy Moss. Straight cash, homie.
but $500 million, I don't know anybody in America that's gonna be like,
I do. All the people that he thinks he's as rich as can pay
No,
that shit themselves.
No, even those guys. Mark Cuban, of all people, super lib, fucking was like, that's not how this works. Like, he actually corrected somebody on Twitter, which is completely against his character. Is like, actually, people with that kind of money don't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
And anyway, he's gonna win this fucking appeal, which is gonna fucking really cripple a lot of fucking liberal minds in America.
This is another civil suit. I don't really care about the civil suits. He's broke anyway. This motherfucker needs to go to jail. That's the root of it. But anyway, check us out on fucking Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. If you want to listen to us fucking argue about probably politics in some way, shape, or form. Either that or making fun of fucking flat earthers. It's kind of our
Hey, look, you know what though?
Fucking Keybridge conspiracy theorists.
That's why this brings the world together. Because in one breath we can argue about Donald Trump, and the other breath we can laugh about flat earthers.
They can laugh about migrant bone bridges coming just near you.
Mm-hmm. And 19th century diagnosis of bipolar disorder.
Here's
Happy
a question.
sads.
Here's a question. Like, all right, so let's say this weird migrant bone bridging in like France. You know, is it less bones because Africans tend to be taller than like Guatemalans?
Wes, we got any listener comments?
We sure do. All right. All right. This coming via TikTok, Airbnb and Steve-O. Don't know if you remember the clip. It's where we talk about it, like having video cameras within an Airbnb. Then we talk about Steve-O joining it. Then Murray, you and I find out randomly that we both have good Steve-O impersonations. This is coming from Sarah Perney. I just copy and pasted this. I read this a second ago. I haven't had the chance to actually click on it. This is hot as fuck. She says, hard no, you need a black light after I've been at an Airbnb, meaning,
All right.
and thank you, Miss Sarah Perney.
The old Vince McMahon situation. All right.
Alan just went like this.
Anyway, what was that comment on?
Airbnb and Steve-O on TikTok.
What platform?
TikTok.
Actually, I think he's going with username. What was the username?
Yeah, just go ahead and forward that comment to me. I'll do some background checks.
Yeah, there's an OnlyFans with that name on it.
Yeah.
So this is like, tell me how you want this to go. This comes from Flat Earth Physics on Facebook. First, it's Kelson Cameron. Some people who clearly Some people who clearly skipped high school science.
I think that one. I think he just read the description of the video and commented without watching, and because I responded to that one, he didn't respond back. However, the next one you're gonna get to is the one I'm concerning myself with.
Hold on, airplane, rocket, car cell.
I don't know her name.
Car cell phones. What have you done, Brendan Henderson?
No, the chick.
One?
I know it's a woman.
Kelson. Well, no, it's just like no. I definitely watched it. I didn't understand it. Calling scientists who research a specific field or of knowledge, storytellers and science fiction writers is just ignorance at its finest. That.
Yeah, that's the one.
Right. And then I commented in one sentence, you said you didn't understand it. In the next sentence, you tell us we're ignorant. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought
Like-
that was funny.
Look, bottom line is like, she just didn't get it. And at that point, I stopped even like I didn't stop concerning myself with it, but I say I stopped concerning myself with it because I didn't concern myself with it enough to fucking comment back. If she didn't get it, she didn't get it. God damn it. I hate the internet sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, I was actually like upset with her that she watched it and then didn't get it. Like, oh, you guys are so dumb. You watched the video, right? Because we weren't being serious. Like, you didn't catch the sarcasm. Like that these fucking people who spend their fucking entire lives staring at the fucking sky. By the way, we have only been able to look at, as humans, 4% of the cosmos. And we're estimated to understand 10% of that 4%. So to think that we have any fucking superior knowledge of what's going on out there is a massive amount of hubris on the human species. Period. Full stop. I feel like you said something along the lines of, I said, what have these people given us? And you said, storylines for great science fiction movies, which is the breadth of their accomplishments, in my opinion. At least Einstein's fucking figured out how to split the atom. And Oppenheimer did it. Well done, gentlemen.
Citizen journalist. We'll leave it
Bingo.
at that.
Yes.
All right, folks. Hey, happy opening day to everybody. I know that by the time you hear this, opening day is gonna come and gone, but yeah.
Orioles minus 1.5. What do you think?
1.5. Burns on the hump. Take that.
Yeah.
Take that.
That's what I did. Free bet on DraftKings, baby. Fucking like
Yeah.
$10 free bet for opening day. I took the Orioles minus 1.5.
Yeah. I would have gone Santander over total bases, but that's neither here nor there. All right. We'll see y'all next week. And then, was it Grim McHam to join the
I
Cuckster?
like it. I gotta workshop that name, but we're getting close.
Pimp McRam.
Good night.